You're always this late in the mornings.
You're up?
Of course I am. 7:45.
Yeah, I've got this really efficient routine.
I noticed.
I'll get to work in about half an hour. How long have you been up?
Since just before 7.
Oh, just sitting there.
Not me, I've done breakfast. If you've got time, of course, with your efficient routine.
I've always got time for you. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. So, dinner tonight?
With you? I'll think about it. Rana, you're someone so flash, you're not very sure of yourself, are you?
Flash?
First word that came to mind when I saw you. Of course, I know you better now.
So, dinner?
I'll think about it. We better get moving. No slack with a routine like yours.
No, you're right. Not a moment to spare.
Mrs. Harmacourt, did you get the message?
Yeah, I'll stop off there first. Daughter's had a bad fall, badly cut up and can't move. Why didn't you take her to A&E then, if it's that bad?
Probably because it isn't.
Oh, why call us out? Why couldn't you come in here?
Mrs. Harmer's got a tendency to dramatise things, especially when Nita's concerned.
So what you're saying, she's overprotective?
I'd say so, yes.
So, vinegar and brown paper job, and then move on. What do you reckon?
That's the thing about house schools, though, isn't it? You never know till you get there. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, we'll do. See you then. Well, looks like she'll live. No, they're only minor scratches, in fact.
She didn't look too good last night, Dr. Rawlins. I was quite worried about her.
Hardly an emergency, that, eh?
Well, I didn't know that then, did I?
Now she seems fine now.
Oh, that's good then.
Looks like she might appreciate a cup of tea, though.
Tea?
I'd say so. Yeah, no, just how she feels.
Well, I suppose I'll go and put the kettle on then, shall I?
So, young lady, was it brambles?
David! No, I just wasn't expecting you to be there, that's all. This is... yeah. Look, I was just wondering if we could meet. I know it's probably the last thing that you want to do, but I think it's necessary, don't you? Oh, good. Well, what about the coffee shop, Lethbridge Square? About 12:30? Yeah. All right, see you then. Bye.
You don't have to tell Mum, do you?
Well, don't you think she ought to know?
She'd only worry. And it's not going to make any difference now, is it?
Well, I don't know, Nita. It might. She could help.
No. Anyway, you have to learn to cope on your own, don't you? I am 13.
Are you sure she believes your version of events about the brambles?
Why not? Anyway, it's no big deal. Didn't you ever get into fights at school?
One or two.
And did you always tell your mum?
No, but she usually knew. So what was it about? Boys?
Not worth fighting over.
So?
They were saying things.
Like what?
And you know, about Dad, stuff like that. And you have to stick up for your family, don't you?
Your dad's not here at the moment.
No. He's working away. I don't go looking for trouble, you know.
I'm sure you don't. Things difficult at school, are they? Generally, I mean.
They're okay.
Apart from the fighting. Just a single bout, was it? Or is this a regular occurrence? Regular, then. Anyway, you're not too badly hurt. In fact, I'm surprised you called me out.
I didn't, it was Mum.
Well, couldn't she have made an appointment at the surgery?
Well, I was much worse. But I improved.
Bad enough to call a doctor out.
Tea?
Right, any more for any more? Come on, let's have some service.
Bit positive for this time of the day, aren't you?
Am I?
Like a kid in a sweet shop.
Yeah, well, you'd have to be, wouldn't you? On a morning like this.
Like what?
Sparkling.
Sparkling.
Yeah. Do you realise not many miles from this very spot, the corn is as high as an elephant's eye?
Well, it shouldn't be. Not unless it's been genetically modified.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Morning. And how are you?
So.
Well, I hope you're not going to have any biscuits with that tea. It'll spoil your appetite.
Really? What for?
Oh, you know very well.
Oh, that. I'm still considering it.
I've got a couple more calls, so I must be getting on, but I would like to take another look at her.
Oh, why? I mean, I thought you said she...
No, the scratches are okay, but she seems to have developed some sort of dermatitis.
Dermatitis?
Yeah, that's what it looks like beneath the scratches. I'd like to run some allergy tests. Any chance you could bring her in this afternoon?
Oh, I don't know. Couldn't you do it here?
Well, no, not really.
All right. Yes. Yes, of course, if it's going to help.
Well, just in case it isn't an allergy.
Well, what else would it be?
Well, I don't know. Worry? Maybe she bottles things up?
What kind of things?
Well, it could be anything. Schoolwork, relationships,
Relationships?
falling out with friends. Which happens, I know, but if it gets to be a habit...
What do you mean, habit?
Well, if she keeps getting into scrapes. Because those scratches weren't made by brambles, Mrs. Harmer. You can see that. Maybe you could go to the school, see if they've noticed anything?
Oh, I don't know. It might make things worse if I interfere.
I don't see how.
I'll talk to Charlie about it.
Your husband?
Yes, he's away at the moment, but I can get in touch with him.
Well, if he's away, couldn't you go yourself?
Charlie'll know what to do for the best. He's good at these things. Like I say, I'll get in touch with him.
Bye-bye.
Mac, before you go, the drugs budget.
What about it?
Isn't it about time we reviewed it?
Definitely.
Yes, so it seems.
I thought we could have a meeting, just a preliminary chat at lunchtime.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Have to run it by me later, though.
Oh?
Yeah, I'm going out. But keep me briefed, yeah?
Keep him briefed. What about?
The drugs budget. I was hoping to have a meeting.
Yeah, why not?
At lunchtime.
Oh, sorry, I have to be out.
Don't tell me. You've got a vital lunchtime appointment you can't possibly avoid.
Me? No. Love to. Absolutely.
Oh, that's a start, I suppose.
A start?
What's this, lunchtime assignations?
Oh, well, I can't help it if people find me irresistible.
Well, as long as you say some of your charm for the evening.
Oh?
Yeah, I've consulted my very crowded diary and discovered I'm free. As long as it's somewhere decent, not check tablecloths and bottles of ketchup.
As if I would.
I don't know. I can't quite pin it down, but there's definitely something wrong somewhere.
You could see what I meant about Mrs. Harmer.
Oh, yeah. There was no need for a visit.
She was just over-anxious.
Yeah, but it's not a typical anxiety, is it? She worries over a few minor scratches, but she can't seem to face up to anything more serious. Like maybe the things she should be dealing with.
Like what?
Well, like she had no idea that Nita had been in a fight, which was so obvious, really.
A fight? Nita?
Well, they've several, apparently.
That doesn't sound like her. She's always struck me as fairly mature.
That's what I thought.
You think you ought to call back?
No need. I've got them coming in this afternoon.
What for?
Well, I noticed some sort of dermatitis, so I said I'd do a few allergy tests. Just an excuse to get them in, really.
To talk?
Yeah. I thought a bit of tactful questioning might not go amiss.
No, good idea. Not sure how much Christine Harmer's going to tell you, though. The father wasn't around, was he?
No, why?
Well, maybe you should bypass her and talk directly to him.
Yeah, well, maybe I would. But he's working away at the moment.
Ah.
What?
Well, that could explain it. She's got used to him making all the decisions, and when he gets called away, she can't cope on her own. When he gets back, things might change for the better.
Yeah, when he gets back. In the meantime, they've just got to manage on their own, haven't they?
I know it looks like I'm being overprotective, but after all we've been through...
You feel it's your duty
Yeah.
to do right by Jane?
Well, you can't blame me.
No, I don't. Jane would say exactly the same in your position. Like I said, you're two of a kind. But you're not seeing the whole picture.
Aren't I?
No.
So what's missing?
The most important thing of all. Jane and I love each other. So age hardly comes into it, does it?
Yeah, but you can't just ignore it.
Why not? Anyway, I don't actually feel younger than her. Quite the opposite, in fact. She's much more of a free spirit than I am.
Yeah, but what's that going to matter in 10 years' time?
Caroline, I wish you could see it the way I do. Before I met her, I was half the person I am now. I mean, she's changed so much for me.
Like what?
Well, I don't know, like there's more to life than work, like seeing new places and seeing old ones in new ways.
Well, yeah, I can see that. But you're just beginning to sound younger and younger. It'll be a teenage crush in a minute.
All I'm saying is what we feel for each other is real.
When you're 50, Mum will be 70. Have you thought about that?
Well, of course we have.
And what about kids?
I'm not bothered about kids.
Well, maybe not now, but that could change.
I don't think so.
Of course it could. In 5 years' time, when you're thinking about your future, you don't always have control over those feelings.
If we change our minds, we can always adopt.
Can you? Just like that? I'm sorry, David, but I'm not convinced that you've thought about this, not properly. You'll be my stepfather, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
Do you think that's funny?
Well, don't you? Would you object if I was older? Or if Jane was younger?
I thought your mum was coming too.
She couldn't make it.
Huh?
She meant to, though. She had a coat on and everything.
But then something cropped up.
Well, the phone went at last minute and it looked as though we might miss the appointment. Anyway, it was me you wanted to see, wasn't it?
Well, I did want to speak to her as well.
I can look after myself, you know.
So I'm beginning to see.
She asked me to tell you she'd been in touch with Dad. That's what you wanted, wasn't it?
Well, actually, it was her that suggested that.
Oh.
That's not so surprising, is it? Your dad would want to help out if he could.
Help how? There's no need.
This isn't a conspiracy, Nita. I'm just trying to be honest with you, but if you can't be straight with me...
About what? I had a fight, I told you that.
Yeah, one in a series, though, by the sounds of it. And your mum seems worried to me.
Not about me.
No? But does she worry, though? In general, I mean?
I suppose.
Anyway, she spoke to your dad.
No, written. I'm going to post it on the way back. Mum can't usually get to him on the phone.
Huh? Why's that?
Because of his job. It's sort of government-y, so mostly he has to phone us.
Well, wouldn't he be upset, though, to think that there was trouble at home?
There isn't, I keep telling you. And he wouldn't get in a flap. Not over a couple of fights.
I could have walked, it's not far.
It was okay, I was on my way.
Is it?
It is now.
Anyway, thanks for listening. I know it didn't do any good, but thanks all the same.
I'm glad we were able to talk about this.
You'll think about what I said.
Yeah, of course.
It's not just my mum. I wouldn't want you to make a mistake either. I mean, well, I'll have to go.
Yeah.
Bye.
The drugs budget. It's just that Mac only ever believes figures if they're typed up.
No problem.
By the end of the week, it'll be fine.
Oh, Steve, about Mr. Harmer?
Oh, yeah. I asked Candy to get in touch with Nita's dad.
Oh, I thought you didn't know where he was.
Well, I didn't. But his wife wrote him a letter and I made a note of the address.
Which was quite clever, really, except it didn't really lead anywhere.
No?
I phoned Directory Inquiries, but they didn't have a listing for a Charlie Harmer at this address.
What?
So, did a bit of research. Turns out this address doesn't exist.
But I saw the letter.
How? I mean, how did you see it?
Lisa showed me. She said her mum wanted me to know she was getting in touch.
Or wanted you to think she was. She writes to him and makes a point of asking Nita to show you the letter, to prove she's doing the right thing.
And he's not there at all.
Well, he's not at that address for a start. So I'd say he's done a runner, wouldn't you?
Oh, you've done the shopping.
I said I would.
Thank you. I shouldn't have let you, really.
It's okay, I don't mind.
Not when you ought to be resting.
I don't need rest, Mum. It's only scratches and stuff.
Yeah, scratches. From brambles, that's what you said, isn't it?
Does it matter how I got them?
Of course it does. I've been sitting here thinking about it. And what that doctor said. How do you think it makes me feel? You get into fights and I don't even know.
Honestly, it wasn't important.
And what's the result? They expect me to go up to the school now to talk about it.
You don't have to.
As if I haven't got enough on my plate. A good mother I look, don't I? Don't even know what my own daughter's getting up to.
Look, it's over, Mum. Sorted. You don't have to worry.
But I do have to worry. What do you expect?
There's no need. You can see I'm all right, can't you?
But what's your father going to say when he finds out?
Didn't you tell him when you wrote?
No, I just said we might have to talk.
Then don't say anything about it. What good would it do?
I don't know. You promise me you're all right?
I promise. I know. We could read his letter. The one that came on Monday.
Oh, I read you that.
Only once, though. It'd be nice to hear it again.
Would it?
It always is. You know that. It's like he's here with us. Why don't you go and get it?
I have to go. Till tonight, then?
Till tonight.
I'll call for you.
No.
Why not?
No, you don't have to. I'll come to you.
Oh, no, I wouldn't dream of it.
Oh, no, wait, let me think.
Well, what about? I've got the car, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Good. 7:45?
No, make it 7:30.
Okay, 7:30.
And not a moment later on. I can't stand to be kept waiting.
I know, exactly what you mean.
Isn't she in the treatment room? She was a moment ago. I'll go and see.
Better go while we've got the chance.
Don't get caught out.
You almost finished?
Mm-hmm.
Means so much to him, you know, your letters. He always says. You know that play you were telling me about? The one you want to do at school?
You won't be interested in that.
Oh, he would, though. You'd be surprised. He used to do plays himself when I first knew him, singing and dancing.
Dad? I don't think so, somehow.
He was good. Well, not bad. Not exactly light on his feet, but...
Hi, I just wanted a quick word.
You should have phoned. You should have let us know.
Well, I just thought that as I was on my way home.
Well, I've got things to do.
This is for Nita, Mrs. Harmer. Surely you can spare a couple of minutes.
Yes, all right, but you can see she's busy.
Well, actually, it was you I wanted a word with. It'll only take a couple of minutes. I thought we might have got the chance to talk this afternoon.
I couldn't make it, didn't she say?
She did, yes, but...
It's kind of you to take an interest, Dr. Rawlings, but I've written to Charlie. It's in his hands now.
So he'll come home now?
Yes, I expect so. He won't get the letter till tomorrow.
And then what, he'll phone?
Probably. We will go to the school. I said we would.
You're sure about that, are you?
Nita told me about the fight. That's all sorted out.
Because I can't help feeling that you're not telling me everything.
I don't know what you mean. Of course I am.
About Charlie And why he's so hard to get in touch with?
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you confusing me now?
I don't mean to. I'm just trying to...
We're dealing with this, you know. Why can't you leave us to do things in our own way?
You and Charlie, you mean? Or are you dealing with this on your own?
No. No, I'm not. He'll come home soon and I'll tell him about this. I'll tell him.
Not a minute late, you said?
It doesn't mean an hour early.
I can wait.
You'll have to. And here's me looking like Rose or Gummidge.
You look gorgeous.
Then just you wait till I finish. I'll blast your socks off. Help yourself to a drink or something. And you're driving, remember?
She'll be all right. She's just a bit stressed.
She seemed very upset.
Yeah, well, she would be, wouldn't she? If people have a go at her.
I wasn't having a go, Nita. I was just trying to find...
Yeah, well, you could have asked me.
Why won't she go up to the school? Nita?
You know why? Because she never goes out.
This afternoon?
She did try, but she couldn't face it.
And you end up going out for her? Shopping and things?
What's wrong with that? I don't mind. She doesn't force me or anything. It's the least I can do for her.
Nisa, I think your mum's suffering from something called agoraphobia.
I know. I looked it up.
Well, then you'll also know that she needs help. How long's she been like this?
Sometime last year. When Dad left.
So you know.
Aha. Now, the big question is, was it worth the wait?
And who might you be?
I'm a friend of Faith's. I'm sorry, I didn't... I mean, I...
You thought I'd be at choir practice?
Choir practice?
Oh, didn't Faith say?
No, she...
That I'd be safely out the way till 8 o'clock? Well, she must have forgotten. So, who are you exactly?
Me.
Well, I don't see anybody else.
Mum, what are you doing here?
Choir was called off. Bit of luck, really. You're going to introduce me. I assume you know who this is.
Yeah, of course. But this is Rana. Dr. Mystery.
From the surgery, you mean?
Mrs. Walker, pleased to meet you.
Oh, you work with my daughter. I'm sorry, I didn't realise.
Well, why should you? We were just going to go out for a bite to eat.
Yes, well, and I don't want to hold you up, but I should like a word with my daughter before you go.
Of course. I'll wait in the car. Excuse me.
We tried contacting him, you know. The surgery.
That wouldn't do any good. He's up north somewhere with someone else. And he won't come back. I know he won't.
But you still write to him.
And he writes back. Well, Mum does, only she says it's from him.
So she knows he's left.
Of course she does.
But she doesn't know that you know. Why don't you tell her?
She couldn't handle it. She wants me to believe he'll come back. And anyway, it's the only thing that makes her happy.
Happy?
Yeah, because sometimes you can kid yourself it's true. That he'll walk in with his case one day. And that's what she wants.
But you can't go on pretending, Nita. It's not doing either of you any good.
Well, what else can I do? I told you, it makes her happy to pretend we're still a family. There's no harm in that, is there?
Everything okay?
Yeah, of course.
For a moment there, I thought I was going to get barbecued.
If she was really happy, Nita, she wouldn't be scared to go out, would she?
Suppose not.
When your dad left, well, it kind of have been easy, keeping a secret. Must have been very difficult for her. But we can do something about it.
Yeah, like what?
Well, medicine can help. And there are groups that she can join to help her understand what's happening to her. But first, you need to tell her that you know about your dad.
I can't.
Well, I think you have to. She has to have some idea of what you've been putting up with.
I've not been putting up with anything. I'm all right.
Are you?
I just want her to be like she was before.
Then come and talk to her. Let's at least get things started.
Will you come with me?
Yeah. Come on.
I hope you're hungry. Faith? What's the matter?
Nothing. Let's order, shall we?
Faith?
I don't want to hurt you, but...
You're not going to hurt me?
No, listen to me. You've got that serious look in your eyes. I've seen that look in blokes' eyes before, and anyway, maybe it's not a good idea having a fling at work.
A fling? This isn't a fling, surely you...
So what else is it? We had a laugh, it was fun, but I don't want you getting heavy on me, Rana, and that's what you're doing, and I'm not ready for it. I'm sorry. This isn't a good idea.
Faith? Faith?